Never eat turmeric. With these three foods, it can cause serious health problems. Have you ever added turmeric to your tea or sprinkled it over your soup, hoping to give your health a little extra boost? Only to wonder later if it's actually doing anything at all? You're not alone. Turmeric has been praised for centuries for its powerful anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties, and it's become even more popular in recent years among those of us over 60 who are looking for natural ways to ease joint pain, support our memory, and protect against chronic illness. But here's something most people don't realize. What you eat with turmeric can make all the difference. In fact, there are certain foods that can actually block turmeric's benefits, or worse, cause unpleasant side effects when combined with it. That's especially true for older adults, because our digestion tends to slow down. Our bodies process nutrients differently, and we're more sensitive to inflammation and imbalance than we used to be. So if you've been faithfully taking turmeric every morning but still dealing with stiffness, bloating, or energy dips, the problem might not be the turmeric itself, but what you're eating with it. In this video, we're going to talk about 3 foods you should never eat with turmeric, especially if you're over 60. These food combinations can cancel out turmeric's benefits, make it harder to digest, or even lead to more inflammation in the body. We'll also touch on a few foods that do enhance turmeric's effects, so you can make sure you're getting the most from this golden spice every time. Let's start with one that often sneaks its way into our meals without us even thinking about it: processed dairy products. Now, I'm not talking about a little splash of milk in your tea or a slice of real aged cheese here and there. I'm talking about the highly processed stuff, the ones that come in shiny plastic wrappers, flavored tubs, or long-lasting powders. Things like American cheese slices, coffee creamers, flavored yogurts, and those bags of pre-shredded cheese coated in anti-caking agents. These kinds of dairy products are full of preservatives, artificial flavorings, thickeners, and added sugars. And as convenient as they might be, they can wreak havoc on digestion, especially for those of us in our 60s, 70s, and beyond. You see, as we age, our ability to digest certain proteins and fats becomes a little less efficient. That's why so many older adults experience bloating, gas, or discomfort after eating dairy-heavy meals. But here's where it gets even more interesting when it comes to turmeric. Some of the proteins found in processed dairy can bind with curcumin, the active compound in turmeric, and block it from being absorbed properly. So even if you're taking turmeric every day, mixing it into your golden milk, or sprinkling it over a yogurt bowl, if that yogurt is full of stabilizers, sweeteners, or synthetic dairy proteins, your body may never get the real benefit. And that's a shame, because turmeric's power lies in how well it can get into your bloodstream and do its job, reducing inflammation, protecting your joints, even supporting your brain health. So what can you do instead? Stick to natural, minimally processed dairy, if your body tolerates it. A little plain Greek yogurt or a piece of real aged cheese can be fine in moderation. But if you're using turmeric medicinally, especially in teas or smoothies, try pairing it with a non-dairy milk like almond, oat, or coconut milk, and avoid those flavored creamers or sugary yogurts entirely. Now, moving on to the second food group that can interfere with turmeric: vinegar-heavy foods. Now this one might surprise you, because some vinegars, like apple cider vinegar, are often touted for their health benefits. And yes, when used correctly, vinegar can support digestion and even blood sugar balance. But when it comes to turmeric, especially if you're using it regularly as a supplement or in cooking, you need to be cautious. The problem lies in the acidity. Curcumin, the key healing compound in turmeric, is sensitive to pH levels. When it comes in contact with high-acid environments, like vinegar-based dressings, ketchup, mustard, or pickled foods, it can actually start to break down before your body has a chance to absorb it. And here's the kicker. Many older adults already have sensitive stomachs, acid reflux, or gastritis. Adding high-acid foods on top of turmeric can increase the chance of digestive discomfort, bloating, or even heartburn. So let's say you're making a healthy salad, and you toss it with a bottled dressing that has vinegar, preservatives, and sugar. Then you add a sprinkle of turmeric on top. Sounds good, right? Well, what actually happens is that the vinegar may begin to destabilize the turmeric's curcumin, reducing its effectiveness while also irritating your stomach lining. You might not notice it right away, but over time, the turmeric won't deliver the anti-inflammatory relief you're hoping for, and your digestion could suffer. A better option? Make your own salad dressing with healthy oils like olive oil, a squeeze of lemon, and a pinch of black pepper. Not only is it gentler on your system, but that black pepper actually helps increase turmeric absorption, which we'll talk more about shortly. When it comes to vinegar-rich foods like pickles, mustard, or ketchup, enjoy them in small amounts if they agree with your system. But try not to mix them with turmeric-rich meals or supplements. Give your body the best chance to soak up all that golden goodness without unnecessary interference. So far, we've talked about processed dairy and acidic vinegar-heavy foods, two common culprits that can sneak into your diet and rob turmeric of its power. Both of these can be particularly problematic for older adults who are looking to reduce inflammation, support joint health, or manage digestion naturally. But there's one more food category we need to talk about, one that shows up in nearly every pantry, and can do even more harm when paired with turmeric. Now that you know how processed dairy can quietly work against turmeric in your system, let's talk about another unexpected food pairing that could be undoing all your efforts to stay healthy. Especially if you're someone who loves a bit of tang or zest in your meals. Let me ask you, do you enjoy a good salad dressing with a sharp kick? Or maybe a spoonful of pickle with your lunch? Perhaps you add a splash of vinegar to your vegetables for that extra bite? It seems innocent enough, right? But here's something most people over 60 don't realize. When you combine turmeric with vinegar-heavy foods, you might actually be stripping away the very benefits you're hoping to gain from it. You see, turmeric, or more specifically, the compound curcumin that gives turmeric its bright golden color and powerful healing effects, is a bit of a delicate superstar. It's packed with anti-inflammatory and antioxidant powers, but it needs the right conditions to shine. And unfortunately, acidic environments don't do it any favors. Foods like bottled salad dressings, mustard, ketchup, and even those beloved pickles we've all grown up eating. They're often loaded with vinegar or other acidic ingredients. When you consume turmeric around the same time as these acidic foods, something unfortunate happens. The acidity starts to break down curcumin before your body can absorb it. Imagine curcumin as a guest trying to enter your house to bring you a gift. But the front door is blocked before they can even ring the bell. That's what vinegar-heavy foods do. They make turmeric's job harder by reducing its stability, so your body misses out on all those anti-inflammatory, immune-boosting, brain-supporting benefits. And for older adults who often deal with inflammation, arthritis, or digestive issues, that's a missed opportunity we can't afford. But it's not just about lost benefits. The real kicker? This food pairing can also cause digestive discomfort, especially if your stomach's a little more sensitive these days. Many folks over 60 deal with things like acid reflux, bloating, or heartburn, and pairing turmeric with acidic foods can make those symptoms worse. So, if you've been adding turmeric to your golden milk, tea, or morning smoothie, but then drizzling your salad with tangy dressing, or enjoying a side of pickle or mustard, your stomach might be quietly trying to tell you it's not happy. And it's time we started listening. Now, before we move on, let's take a moment to think about this. Turmeric is an ancient remedy. It's been used in healing traditions for thousands of years, from India to China to parts of Africa. But back then, people didn't have artificial preservatives or vinegar-loaded condiments. Turmeric was taken with whole foods, warm milk, natural fats, and healing herbs. Maybe it's time we went back to that wisdom, especially now that we're older and wiser ourselves. Let's pause here for a second. I know some of this might feel a little overwhelming. You might be thinking, well, I love my mustard. And what about my favorite pickle at dinner? Hey, that's okay. This isn't about giving things up cold turkey. It's about awareness. It's about making smarter choices where they count most. And believe me, there's good news. Just as there are food combinations that weaken turmeric, there are also amazing pairings that can supercharge it, making it work better, faster, and stronger in your body. We'll get to those in just a bit. But first, there's one more tricky culprit we need to talk about, and this one might surprise you even more. Let me ask, do you ever treat yourself to a muffin in the morning? A slice of banana bread with your coffee? Maybe a bowl of cereal that brings back memories of Saturday mornings from your younger years? There's nothing wrong with enjoying the little things, but here's something many folks don't realize. If you're eating turmeric around the same time as sugary cereals or baked goods, you could be setting up a silent battle in your gut. And turmeric's losing. Why? Because refined sugars are one of the most inflammatory ingredients in the modern diet. And inflammation is the very thing turmeric is trying to fight. Foods like frosted cereals, glazed donuts, blueberry muffins, and even some healthy-looking banana breads can be loaded with hidden sugars that spike your blood sugar, stress your pancreas, and flood your system with inflammatory markers. It's like pouring water on a fire while trying to light a match. And for those of us over 60, our metabolism naturally slows down. Our insulin response isn't as sharp as it once was. This means those sugary foods stick around longer, do more damage, and interfere with how well your body absorbs nutrients, including curcumin. The result? You might be eating turmeric every day and still not seeing the benefits, not because it's not working, but because sugar is canceling it out. Now, you might be wondering, can't I just cut out sugar entirely? And yes, in an ideal world, we'd all eat clean, whole, naturally sweet foods like fruits and raw honey. But I know real life isn't always ideal. Sometimes we want a little sweetness. The key is to be mindful of when and how you consume it. If you're enjoying turmeric for its health benefits, maybe in a smoothie, a supplement, or a tea, try to keep it away from sugary foods by at least a couple of hours. Give it space to work its magic in a clean, calm environment without having to fight through a sugar storm. Think of turmeric as a wise healer, but one who needs peace and quiet to do their work. Sugar, on the other hand, is like loud music in the next room, constant distractions and flashing lights. The two don't work well together, especially in a body that's aging, healing, and trying to stay strong. But here's the silver lining. While some foods can make turmeric less effective, there are others, simple, delicious ones, that actually make it stronger, more absorbable, and far more powerful in your system. And those are the food combinations you'll want to lean into, to not only protect your health, but to enhance it in ways that feel good, taste good, and do good for your body. Let's talk about that next. So now that we've talked about the foods that can dull turmeric's power, like processed dairy, vinegar-heavy condiments, and sugary baked goods, let's shift gears. Because here's the good news. You can make turmeric work better just by pairing it with the right foods. Yes, there are natural enhancers that act like little assistants to turmeric. They help it get absorbed into your bloodstream faster, protect it from breaking down, and even increase its anti-inflammatory and antioxidant effects. And the best part? They're probably already in your kitchen. 1. Black pepper, the golden key. Let's start with the most famous sidekick of turmeric, black pepper. You may have heard this before, but let me explain why it matters, especially as we age. Turmeric's active compound, curcumin, is powerful, but not very bioavailable. That means your body struggles to absorb it on its own. In fact, without a little help, you might only absorb 1% of the curcumin you consume. That's hardly anything. But when you add just a pinch of black pepper, even 1/20th of a teaspoon, it contains a compound called piperine that can increase curcumin absorption by up to 2,000%. That's not a typo, 2,000%. So the next time you stir turmeric into your tea, soup, or smoothie, just sprinkle in a dash of black pepper. You won't taste it much, but your body will know it's there, and it'll thank you. And here's a bonus tip. This combo also helps reduce joint pain and improve brain health, especially important after 60, when inflammation can sneak up on your joints or memory. 2. Healthy fats, the absorption boosters. The second best friend of turmeric, healthy fats. Curcumin is fat-soluble, meaning it dissolves best in fat. When you consume it with a healthy fat source, you help it slide through your digestive system more easily and reach your bloodstream where it can get to work. Think of it like a VIP pass. Without fat, turmeric might be stuck in line. But with fat, it gets ushered right to where it needs to go. Here are a few examples of fats that work beautifully. A teaspoon of coconut oil in your turmeric tea or golden milk. A splash of olive oil in your turmeric-based soup or stew. A bit of ghee or grass-fed butter stirred into warm dishes. And don't forget avocados, chia seeds, walnuts, and fatty fish like salmon. They're great for your heart and brain, and they'll help turmeric reach its full potential in your system. 3. Warming herbs and spices. Nature's healing circle. Another way to unlock turmeric's power? Combine it with other warming spices that also support digestion and inflammation reduction. Think of turmeric as part of a team, not a solo player. Spices like ginger, great for nausea, joint pain, and immune support. Cinnamon helps balance blood sugar, crucial as we age. Cardamom and cloves, excellent for digestion and circulation. These work synergistically with turmeric, meaning when they're together, they don't just add their individual benefits, they actually make each other stronger. Try a tea blend with turmeric, ginger, cinnamon, and a touch of black pepper. Maybe sweetened with a bit of raw honey. It's like a hug for your insides. Warm, healing, and full of protective compounds. Now, let's step back and look at the big picture. If you're someone over 60, or even in your 40s or 50s, you've likely experienced how your body doesn't bounce back quite as quickly. Maybe the joints creak a little more, digestion isn't as smooth, or energy dips more often than it used to. That's normal. But that doesn't mean you're helpless. In fact, small changes, like learning how to eat turmeric properly, can have an incredible ripple effect. You're not just adding a spice, you're adding a tool for healing, a tool for longevity, for clarity, for strength. So here's what to remember from this whole conversation. Don't combine turmeric with processed dairy, especially from store-bought milk, cheese, or creamers. Vinegar-heavy condiments, like mustard, pickles, or bottled dressings. Sugary baked goods or cereals, which create an inflammatory storm. Do combine turmeric with black pepper for better absorption, healthy fats like coconut oil, olive oil, or avocado, warming spices like ginger, cinnamon, and cardamom. A simple, anti-inflammatory diet focused on whole, unprocessed foods. And finally, a word of encouragement. You don't need to overhaul your entire diet to feel better. Just start with this one habit. Use turmeric wisely. Give it the space and support it needs. In time, you'll notice the difference. In your energy, your digestion, your joints, even your mental clarity. Because your body wants to heal. It's built to regenerate. Even after 60, even after 70, even after 80. And with the right choices, the right allies, you're giving it everything it needs to do just that. So go ahead, stir that golden powder into your tea, your food, your routine. But now, do it smarter. You're not just adding spice, you're adding life.